Good day, everyone, and welcome to Home at the Hollow, to my kitchen. Goodness, thank you so much for joining me today. Today's recipe that I'm sharing with you is right out of my cookbook, and if you haven't ordered one, you should. It is packed full of great recipes, but this particular recipe is an in favorite, and the guests just absolutely loved it. It is for my macadamia nut French toast. This is a budget buster. I consider a budget buster because I have bought the loaf of bread that was marked down to like $1. And I encourage you, if you see those, grab those up. Throw them in the freezer, do whatever it is that you have to do. And you know, work with ways of stretching your budget a little bit more. But, you know, we're going to have a very busy weekend. A lot of things are happening here. The house is finally getting close to being finished. Not quite. I think it's going to take a good, probably with the garden, yard, and everything, probably 6-8 months longer. But, you know, we're trudging along and getting there. So I wanted to make something up today. And I actually split the recipe in half. I have frozen half of it. The other half is in my fridge. So when I know we're going to be doing the very largest room, the living room and the library, in one day, I know we're going to need the energy. I know it's going to be a crazy busy day. But if this is a recipe that you are interested in, and I certainly so hope that you are, then I hope you keep watching. I have my morning coffee. I'm ready to get started with this macadamia nut French toast. Of course, I'm going to start with a really basic French bread. What I've done, I've already, for time's sake, gone ahead and sliced this up. But what I've done is cut the sides, the ends, and the bottom here. And that's, you know, mostly to accommodate the pans that I'm going to use. I'm going to use this one. I don't care too much for using a dark coated pan, but this is what I've got. So I'm going to use this one to make and get made like I'm going to do today, and go ahead and just set this in the freezer for another long weekend. And then I will bake this one off for breakfast. But now the French bread, don't go and spend a boatload of money on French bread. As you can see, I bought this on the bakery reduced aisle. Let's see, what have I got happening here? I've got 4 eggs. Now, this is not baking at all. I mean, as far as measurements are concerned, you may need to, depending on the bread you use and how thirsty your bread is, this is, I wouldn't call it stale, but this is, I mean, I would still toast it and eat it as, you know, garlic bread or something like that. But you may have to add another egg or 2 to this equation. And really, it just, you know, there's a lot of depending on here. I'm adding roughly, and again, this is not baking, roughly 2/3 of a cup of orange juice, 1/3 of a cup, I believe, of whole milk, and you guys know I use whole milk, and I'm using 1/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. Just give it a good mix. And I think this time to my egg mixture, I'm going to just add maybe 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Sometimes I use nutmeg. I'm feeling kind of cinnamon this weekend, maybe. I have roughly, and again, this is roughly about 1/3 of a cup of melted butter. Let's see if I can move some of this. You know, just a rough guess here. I guess it's going to be extra butter this weekend. And that looks good. Just going to place these as tightly as I can here. Just squeeze it right in there. They won't care. No. Because in the end, no one's going to know this, right? And do my second one. And this, one of these loaves actually makes a perfect 9 by 13 pan. But I didn't really want to bake a big pan of French toast this weekend. Just stuff it all around. Have some fun. I already have my chopped macadamias here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to get this moved over. Yeah, I want the eggs very, very well beaten, because as you guys know, I had a bad experience with a pecan pie many, many, many years ago. Oh my goodness, it must have been 30 years ago. And yeah, you don't want to see any of the white. We're just gonna, I think you guys can see, we're just gonna, you know, kind of slowly spoon this over. And just depending on, like I said, on your bread and your eggs and, you know, a lot of different things, you may need more eggs. Because I tell you, the bread definitely will take all of this in, especially like the day-old bread, and that's exactly what you want. You want it to soak every bit of it in and just give it a push. It's not going to hurt it. No one will ever know. And you can just see the flecks of cinnamon on the top. Isn't that delicious? Ooh. And what I'm going to do is this one I'm going to totally wrap up. Put aluminum foil on it and push it right in the freezer. Of course, I'm going to date it, but I'm going to put it right in the freezer. This one I'm going to just cover and put it in the fridge. This, you know, depending on your ingredients, like your milk and things like that, will last a day or two, maybe, I guess, in the fridge. But we are coming up on really quickly on the weekend, and I want to, you know, make sure that there is a good breakfast to be served here with all of the hard work that's going to be happening. And there you go. What I'll do is I'll preheat my oven. Not for this one. This one takes a reduced heat. 375, maybe 400. I'm going to bake that probably about 15 or 20 minutes. And then I'm going to just not totally cover the top. Of course, I'm going to go over this with you guys. But I will sprinkle some of these on here and let it continue to bake. Now, this will puff up, which is just a beautiful, wonderful, wonderful thing. Everyone at the end just absolutely adored this. And it's, you know, it's just so easy to have in the fridge, freezer, ready to just throw in the oven, and you will look like you've been slaving all day in the kitchen. But we'll get there, and we will see you guys in a few minutes.